The Golden State Warriors are a lot more dynamic than you think, and a lot of teams have acquired this taste of defense where they like to top lock, okay? And I guarantee you, if you are a Warriors fan, you know exactly what this means. But you can see, right, his defender is denying him access to the ball, at least on a DHO or getting to the middle of the floor, right? They're denying access, and the Warriors have said, we know how to beat this. All we're going to do is act like we're going to go right and then boom, roll the basket. There's no one here. And they set this up like this for a reason, right? You notice how no one's down low right now? It's because they want to keep that paint open for Steph Curry. So boom, no hesitation, cut to the basket, wide open pocket pass. It's too easy, okay? And in this video, we're going to break down exactly why the Warriors are a lot better than a lot of people think. A lot better, okay? They're primed for potentially a massive run. Let's break down why. Before we dive in, comment down below. How far do you think they can make it this year? Let me know. Let's dive in. Now, the one thing I love about the team is the creativity, okay? So they're going to set up an action this way to send Buddy Hield all the way off around to a DHO, or what we think is going to be a DHO, okay? But all of this is a distraction to set up something completely different, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? As we set up this action, we want him to roll to the basket, get out to the corner, and you're going to see Steph Curry slowly start to wall off a screen here, and we're going to send Moses Moody to the other side. Now, the goal of this play is to get Delano Banton, Moses Moody's defender, to rotate over on this slot cut to the basket and then follow him to that three-point line, right? And then once he realizes it's going to be too late. So again, we set up the screen, boom. Now we roll him to the basket. Look at Steph Curry. Starts to get into the way as Moody starts to roll into the open space of the floor, right? We fake the handoff here to Buddy Hield. And now that Banton's like, oh, wait, now I'm not guarding the right guy. I'm totally out of sorts. Moses Moody gets a wide open three and then ends up draining it, right? These are the things that make this team so special, right? They're eye candy. They show you one action and they're doing something completely different on the other side. And it ends up working perfectly, man. I'm telling you, you pay attention really, really close. You can see a lot of this stuff start to happen. Man, it is so beautiful to watch. All right, look how creative this play is. So the first thing that we notice is the big man is playing so far off of Kevon Looney, and this is probably the one disadvantage to when Looney's in the game is that big man kind of sits in the paint, but it also works as an advantage at times as well. Now, for example, we're going to go over and act like we're going to set up this dribble handoff with Pods, but instead, we're going to, boom, roll out and set it up with Buddy Hield. Okay, now the goal of this play is to get this defender, right? He's kind of asleep, right? You see him so far off of Buddy Hield right now because he's got to cover that low baseline as well. So boom, instead of drawing that DHO right here to Pods, we're going to go to the next one. Boom. Now we're setting this screen. We already had the leverage, and Buddy Hield wants to stop and pop off this thing because he's that good of a shooter that he's able to have the confidence to stop, pop, put up a three, and get it to go. Again, they're so unpredictable at times. It makes defense's life a lot more difficult than a lot of people realize. Then here we go. Now we're going to set up some off-ball screens. We're going to kick it over to Jimmy Butler, and we're going to set an away screen. So what is an away screen? It's when your screener goes away from the basketball and sets a screen for someone like Buddy Hield or Steph Curry to the top of the key. That's all we're going to get. And again, why does this work? Why does it always work? Because this defender is playing so low into the paint that he's not able to step all the way up to guard that three-point line, which is essentially forcing this defender to be flawless, right? He cannot mess up. He cannot be late. He's got to be there he's got to be there right away. And boom, you mess up, it's over. You already lost. Easy three, drains it. Again, they're so versatile because, yeah, you don't want to play Kevon Looney all the way up to that three-point line. You just don't because he's not a shooter. There's no need to. But when they run these off-ball screens, what are you supposed to do? Again, there's not much. There's not much you can do there. Now, before we get any further into the film, do me a big favor, guys. Hit that like button if you want more of these videos. And honestly, comment down below P2. You guys have been killing it so far. And if I continue to see P2, I'm going to continue to post them. I'm going to continue to drop these videos for you guys. Lastly, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. It is free. Doesn't cost anything to join the family. With that being said, let's dive into some more film. All right, here's another interesting action the Warriors like to run. We're running a screen the screener. Okay, so that might sound crazy. What the hell does that mean? Screen the screener. So we're going to screen. Steph Curry's going to screen for Gary Payton, who's then going to screen for Steph Curry. Okay, it looks crazy, right? You guys understand how crazy it looks, but this thing works. So we're going to set a screen here for Gary Payton. We're now going to come off that thing and screen for Steph Curry. Look how much it confuses this defense. They hand Steph Curry a wide open three. A wide open three. This is beautiful. I love these plays because defenses have no idea what to expect every single time. Totally lost. And Steph gets a wide open three. Whenever you can generate an open three for Steph Curry, yeah, you're feeling good. All right, I also really like this action as well. We're going to get a screen from Draymond, kick it over to Jimmy. Now we're running this away screen once again. We learned about this a little while ago. An away screen is when you're big, goes to the opposite side from the ball, sets a back screen, right? He's facing away from the basketball. Right, so as we come off this thing, the only thing we're reading is this defender. Are you going to go underneath the screen or over the screen, okay? Now there's two variations. Let's break it down. So if he goes over the screen with Moses Moody, we're going to want to bend around this thing and create a two-man action, okay, with Draymond Green. Now, if he goes under the screen, we want to stop right here and shoot a three ball. So let's say the screen happens here. He goes under. We want to stop right here. So let's watch this play break down. Boom. He goes underneath the screen. We stop on a dime and get a wide open look. Drain it. Again, there's so many actions that you can run by just one away screen. Again, if he goes over this screen, right? If he goes over, we're going to want to bend off this thing into the lane and then send him down to the baseline because that initial defender is always going to fight over. He's always going to try to get to the opposing side. And when you roll to the basket, this big over commits to initially stopping that penetration. You get a wide open Draymond Green. So there's so many different things that they could run out of just this one set. And right there, they execute perfectly. All right, one more beautiful play for you guys. Look at this. So we're going to act like we're going to set up this screen here by Jimmy Butler. Send him off this thing right to the top of the key. But instead, watch what they do. Okay, so once we act like we're setting this screen, this defender likes to hedge over, but we don't actually set that screen. We're just going to roll right by him, allow him to go over us. Our defender prematurely switches on a Steph Curry. You can already see it, right? He's starting to face that direction, giving us that baseline. It's wide open. And instead of setting that screen, we allow him to go by, and then boom, wide open lob to the basket. And this right here, 33 is a really good defender. This is one of the best defenders on this basketball team. Very versatile, very smart player. And right there just gets beat because he thinks that off-ball screen's coming. Never came. So guys, hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, turn on post notifications if you want more of these breakdowns. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next update. Peace.